Good evening, everyone. Howdy there, Kukla. Definitely has some questions for you, Kukla, about how Nashville was. But hey there, Overcoming Victory, Cosmo Girl, East Coast Watchers Club and Adventures. I think I just saw you a little bit earlier over on the Mike Barra show. So thank you so much for coming on over here and joining as well. Oh, Terry. How is it going? Donna, good evening. I hope that you're having an absolutely wonderful one. And absolutely, Kukla, for those that are here, I would definitely appreciate the like button and all those different buttons that they put underneath the videos. They help out an immense amount. They make certain that people are able to actually see the content, and I greatly appreciate it. And of course, Kukla, you are my savior because I always forget to say this until later on. But of course, anything that is shared today during the podcast should never be viewed as financial advice. It is purely for educational and entertainment purposes. That is what it's for. My name is Crazy Kryptonite. So, the crazy is important. We're here to learn. We're not here to provide financial advice. As always, in cryptocurrency, do your own research is a very, very common phrase that you'll hear people throw around. The acronym is DYOR. And so whenever you see that, well, what they're saying is, don't take my word for it. If you do the research, I think you'll come to the same conclusion. Hey there, Beach Brad. How are you doing this evening? How are you doing? Oh, howdy, C. Marie as well. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful start to the week. I wasn't ready for it. So, Kukla, in response to your question regarding my weekend, I was not ready for my weekend to be over. It seemed like it flew by. It seemed like it absolutely flew by, Kukla. I'm ready for an extended weekend. Maybe we switch it around. I'd love to go ahead and have 5 days off and 2 days working. Is there any way we could work that out, guys? Maybe if we all talk to our bosses at the same time. I don't think that's going to happen, but. Oh, Cuclatino is doing well. The little bum is actually sitting right here, as he does now, all day long while I sit and work on the computer. He sleeps all day so that he can harass me all night. So let me go ahead and throw that one a little bit larger up. Tino is doing well, being his normal, grumpy, sleepy self. And I have now taken it into pretty much my daily hobby is waking him up all day with the hope that it might mean he sleeps at night. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions on that one. But my thought is if I keep waking him up during the day, maybe he'll sleep more in the evening. It seems to be working. It seems to be working. But no, he is a friendly fella. He is too funny. I cannot believe just how sweet this cat actually is. And he not only do I put up with him, but he seems to put up with me. So, oh, what a beautiful little kitty! I love orange tiger cats. He is, and he's got some really, really cool patterns going on him. He's a cool kitty. Mainly, it's just the attitude that really kills it for him. Oh, hey there, PJ. Jorge, yeah, you made it over here. How are you doing today, Jorge? And Bulldog. I'll feed him some CBD. I don't know what would happen with that cat with some CBD. He's already a little crazy. I don't know whether it'd make him more sane or more crazy. It'd be one of the two. Oh, Terry, he is. He's putty. Somebody made a decision for me because he walked in and trusted me before I trusted him. I am very lucky, C. Marie. I don't know why I was blessed in such a way, but I'm very, very grateful. Oh, hey there, Mary Jones. How are you doing? Tyler, hey Zester, any opinions on why everything went down over the weekend? XLM, XRP, and Bitcoin all went down a bit. Actually, Tyler, that's what we're going to go through today. For today, we're not going to go through a typical lesson. The reason being that we have two videos that are coming out that are lessons at any moment. And what we do have, Tyler, is a ton of news. And so that's what we're actually going to go through today. And we're going to look at some of the logic behind why are we looking at a big downturn. Now, I would not say, Tyler, this is all that unpredictable. When we look at bull markets and we look at the halvening periods for Bitcoin historically, it's always volatile. It's always volatile. But we do have some very specific points to actually point to on this one. We can pick out some culprits in this situation, Tyler. We definitely can. David, I am glad that you have made it. Even if you're having to use the phone, hopefully everything's coming through well on that side also. And so let's go ahead and jump a little bit into it, guys. I'm certain at the beginning there'll still be more hellos as folks file in, but let's go ahead and actually jump to just a little bit of what's been going on. And so we'll start with just the happenings of the day. All right. And so we've had a few different big ones, and we're going to go through these before we jump into what was going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum, because there is a little bit of news on that front. And remember, guys, when it comes down to it, the price of your XRP, your XLM, your everything, it is primarily tied to Bitcoin. So when you look at the price of Bitcoin, you can probably go ahead and make a pretty good bet about where everybody else is heading. But with this downturn, we saw a few examples of Murphy's Law, a few exceptions to the rule occur. All right, so coming on over here, because we did have MetaMask partnered with CoinLedger for tax reporting. And so for those that are new to it, MetaMask is that wallet that's actually based inside of your web browser or on your phone. It is a hot wallet. It is a hot wallet that allows you to connect your Ledger hardware wallet to it in order to verify your transactions. But it is still, of course, a hot wallet. And so they have made a partnership with CoinLedger for tax reporting. That one is really not all that exciting, in my opinion. What was particularly exciting was, for those that have not heard, Solana has had a massive amount of new altcoins and AKA meme coins that have been launching on Solana. Solana being a different blockchain. And so for those that have looked at it, Solana is, we'll come back to the book of meme because we definitely want to check that out. But Solana is the fourth largest cryptocurrency on the planet, and it is a layer one blockchain. And that means there are other tokens, crypto tokens, that are actually built on the same platform. And Solana meme coins have been, well, needless to say, they have been somewhat skyrocketing. And so, in this case, it happened to be one known as Slurf. And so a meme coin known as Slurf actually just launched. Well, the comment is from today. Today, Slurf launched, and the developer managed to burn $10 million in Solana during the launch. $10 million during the launch. He burnt it. Now, remember, during our crypto lingo class, burnt means that those tokens were actually sent to a wallet where they can never be gotten back from. They're gone. They're gone. Money gone. And the Slurf developer went out and he raised money from the community. The community gave him money in order to launch the project. They were buying tokens, and he mistakenly burnt over $10 million. Mistakenly. $10 million. Matter of fact, $10.4 million, if we want to be very exact. And so the developer raised 535,000 Solana coins. Solana is around $203 per coin. And he accidentally burnt $10.4 million worth of it. Gone. Just gone. $10.4 million gone. And if you want to, and so of course we have right here, we actually have Slurf, the developer, coming out saying, guys, I effed up. I burned the LP and the tokens that were set aside for the airdrop. Mint authority is already revoked, so I cannot mint them. There's nothing I can do to fix this. More French and apologies. But the market is so absurd right now, that Slurf actually, even after this huge mess up, which if the company that you were trying to do business with said that they just collected your money and that they accidentally lost $10.4 million worth of it, I probably would not work with them anymore. That seems like it would be a bad idea, but apparently folks did not view it that way. And so they actually, since having that launch and since burning all of that money, are now still sitting at a $217 million market cap. $217 million is the current market cap of Slurf. And so if we come down here and we look at this actually on a time scale, and so I'm going to try to get this a little bit larger for everybody. So you see right here, all-time low, that was 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago, their all-time low was 36 cents. And their all-time high was 11 hours ago at $1.25. And their current price is coming in at 42 cents. And that is a market capitalization of $217 million. So a company that immediately, with no fault, this is a completely uncontested failure, losing $10.4 million, has still managed to skyrocket to a valuation of $217 million market cap. And so what I would kind of point to and look at in this one, guys, is with these meme coin crazes, that what's occurring is illogical behavior. Essentially, people are well entrenched inside of the greed index. And so when we look at how people in the market are viewing things right now, despite the fact that we're seeing these price reductions, we're still seeing that the average investor is acting as if nothing could ever go wrong. That's pretty scary in and of itself. When people are acting this way, despite the market really not being based off of any logic at the moment in terms of some of these small tokens. Hey, that's actually Bulldog. They are actually getting ready for phase 2 in about 16 hours. I assume you're discussing Slurf on that one, Bulldog. That's very interesting. I will be curious to keep up with that, because it's not only Slurf. We've actually seen inside of the past couple of days, we've also seen the Book of Meme, which came out as a nothing token with no real anything. And when we come down here, so guys, how does 20,201% in 4 days sound? Pretty good, in my opinion. I would really love to have a successful win like that one. But keep in mind, guys, that these things that you're seeing in regards to the meme tokens with Solana, they are essentially gambling. People are just gambling. Right now, it's on Solana, and Solana is the place to jump in and purchase a meme token and run off with it and hope for the best and plan on selling it quickly. This is a very, very normal in terms of a bull market. We'll see all of this money is pouring into Bitcoin. It's pouring into Ethereum. It's pouring into XRP and XLM. And people have also seen pretty massive gains on their holdings that they've been having for the past couple of years, months, all depending on when they purchased. And now they're taking wins. They're taking dollars. And when they start to do that, we start to see a craze towards the altcoins, towards what I'll save the French and we'll call it crap coins. That's not the common moniker. It typically starts with an S and it rhymes with sit. It is typically the moniker for those type of projects. But right now is the time where money is going to be pouring into a lot of silly things. And so we see the book of meme sitting here at a $653 million market cap after a matter of a week or so. And we see other projects in a matter of a day sitting at market caps that are beyond unreasonable. This is very, very common in a bull market. You would love to be the guy who jumped in and made that purchase a couple days ago on one of these projects. We all do. We all want to be that guy. Really, when it comes down to it, that is no different than putting a blindfold on and walking into Vegas. The only difference is you're doing it with cryptocurrency. And so I would definitely make certain that everyone keeps in mind when they see the crazy numbers, because now you're going to see projects advertising. I'm certain you'll see the library of meme, the encyclopedia of meme. You'll see a million other tokens come out with names similar to these. What they're trying to do is just take away from that hype and create something of their own that most likely is nothing more than a pump and dump. And so a pump and dump as a phrase is when a project is released with no other intention behind it besides pumping the price really far up and then dumping your initial investment. That's a pump and dump scheme. Very, very common. They're common in traditional finance as well, not just cryptocurrency. There are more than enough recorded instances of the same exact scheme being utilized in the quote unquote real world. But it's very, very common during these times. So for everyone who is seeing these massive, these stories about these massive wins, do keep in mind that you are risking it for the biscuit when you are messing around with those. And so as we continue through, though, kind of getting away from a little bit of the meme coin stuff, keep in mind, we are going to go through and buy meme coins. I'm probably going to have to say my financial disclaimer 15 times during that live stream. But on Wednesday, we're going to go buy crap coins. And we're going to watch me go through and utilize decentralized finance. Regardless of the gas fees, we're just going to go for it because that's what's been keeping me away for these past streams is how high the gas fees have been, how expensive it is to make a trade in decentralized finance. Has been slowing me down on wanting to jump in. But on Wednesday, we're going to go buy crap coins. We're going to buy the crappiest of the crappiest, and we're going to see what happens. So for those who do want to be seeing how you would get into these little tiny crap projects, and which they could end up being amazing. When I say crap projects, I mean because you're essentially putting dollars behind them when you don't really know yet. You can't really make an educated decision. They could be great. They could be awful. And you're going ahead and you're putting your dollars behind them when you really don't know. So on Wednesday, we're going to be gambling on Wednesday, essentially, guys. So if everyone wants to watch me gamble Wednesday during the live stream, you're going to get to watch me gamble. And we're going to use it as a learning experience, though. And so it's not really going to be about gambling. It's going to be about how do you take your cryptocurrency from a centralized exchange like Coinbase and go to a decentralized market and make a purchase. Because when these new tokens come out, these new coins that are really small, they're not available on Coinbase. They're not available on any exchange. The only place that you can actually find them is when you go to something like a Uniswap. And so I'll just pull that one up real quick. So this is the only place is decentralized exchanges. And so on Wednesday, we're going to go to some decentralized exchanges, and we're going to probably lose far too much money on gas fees, but we're going to learn a lot. And so it's going to be worth it. Until then, though, we're going to jump back to what's going on in terms of Bitcoin. Oh, what's up with Booger? We got, oh, how's it going, Grumpy? Tyler, how does one become a part of an airdrop? Well, I guess I can just kind of cheat and give you the answer real quick. Airdrops.io is a very, very popular one. There are a few others. I would go ahead, though, and let you know, Tyler, that airdrops nowadays do not actually pay out most of the time, Tyler. So airdrops were very, very popular back in 2017, 2016, 2018. Airdrops were actually quite profitable to chase around. Nowadays, the vast majority of people who are airdropping their tokens, it's because their tokens are worthless. And so while I would say there are places to go to participate in these, Tyler, I personally have not wasted my time doing it now since 2019. That was when I was last going through and actually signing up for airdrops, trying to participate. I spent tons of time and I never made a dime after 2018. The companies that did do it, it worked out amazing. Matter of fact, the very project that I showed right here, Uniswap, when Uniswap first launched, they had an airdrop, and their airdrop was for the Uni tokens. And the Uni token airdrop ended up being somewhere over $1,000 for everyone who got it. That was a huge win. It was a huge win. And it was actually one of the projects that really made people kind of get into like an airdrop fever, because they said, oh, we just need to find the next airdrop that's going to pay that kind of money. And they never found one. To my knowledge, there have not been any airdrops since Uniswap back in, well, 5, 6, 7 years ago now, back when they actually had one. So there are airdrops out there, Tyler. I would be very, very hesitant about putting too much time into chasing them around, just because nowadays they don't really pay out that often. Tyler, yeah, no, you're quite welcome. It's one where you want to, you want to go out, you want to sign up for all of them. It's free money. But in all honesty, the free money usually ends up taking a heck of a lot of work to earn. Some of the ones, though, that I would say, Tyler, is that there are things out there where you can go around and you can look at the different projects on Twitter and X, and you can go through and look at all the giveaways they're running. I do know some people that have had pretty good success chasing giveaways, because pretty much every small crypto project, even large crypto projects, will occasionally have an opportunity. Hey, go like our post on Twitter. Go share our Instagram. And they do occasionally pay out actually for doing that. But there's no place to go to just find where all those are happening. So if you really wanted to go about trying to make some extra dollars chasing the giveaways, well, first of all, it's a giveaway, so it's luck. And you're going to need to essentially follow every single small crypto token on the market. And the vast majority of the time, you're never going to make a dime. But you could end up making some there. But in all honesty, Tyler, if I were looking for some of the real easy guarantees in terms of it, I would go between the different programs like Coinbase, and I do their learn to earn. And then I'd look for any other exchanges, the eToros, the Weebles, all of these other ones that are offering incentives for joining. And if I really wanted to make some extra dollars, I would chase all of those incentives. I've done this before. It was years ago, but I think it was eToro was offering $500 for anyone who deposited $1,000 on the exchange. And so, I consolidated crypto, brought all my crypto over there. I left $1,000 sitting on eToro for a month or two, and I got $500. Those type of little incentives Those are things that you could easily chase around. Easily chase around. All right, though, guys. Kruger, that picture behind you is crooked. Straightening it up. It's driving me crazy. I don't know whether my camera is crooked or whether it's crooked, Booger. I will work on that one for you, though. I will work on that one for you, Booger. I got you. And of course, prayers are always going out. But I think the more important thing that you're worried about, Booger, is the state of that photo. And so I can fix that for you. I will work on that one. All right, guys. We're going to continue on with a little bit of news because there has been a lot. There has been a whole lot in terms of what we have seen going on with the market. And so Bitcoin trader sees prices slumping to 60K as crypto bulls see $650 million in liquidations. And so this was a matter of over the last over the last couple of days. And so this specific story came out in March 15th and was then updated later in the day a little bit with it. And so what they're talking about here, though, in terms of these liquidations, guys, these are people that were using leverage. They were using leverage. And so as they were leveraging their dollars, and so for those that aren't aware, many different platforms, such as even Coinbase now, I believe, but platforms out there like eToro, Webull, many others, they allow you to utilize their money. So if I were to say that I was going to take a leveraged position, I'll use my easiest example. All right, my easiest example. Say I have $50,000. I have 50 grand, and my money is good. And I go to one of these exchanges, and I say, I'd like $1 million. I would like to make $1 million purchase of Bitcoin. What I am doing essentially at that point is I am utilizing 20x leverage. I have $50,000, but I would like to invest $1 million. All right, I got 50 grand. I want to invest $1 million. What these companies do is they let you come to them and say, here's my 50 grand. Here's my 50 grand. Let me make $1 million purchase. And so they show up. Here's my 50 grand exchange. Give me $1 million. And they take the $1 million and they buy Bitcoin. We'll use that as an example. And so they made a purchase of Bitcoin. They have 50 grand that is backing up their purchase. And so they're going to be paying fees because you took out credit. You know how the banks are. You know how any lender is. They're going to want interest. So he's got to pay his interest. And he has to ensure that the price of Bitcoin does not fall more than 5%. Why 5%? Because remember, guys, he has 1/20th of the money. And he has $1 million. And so if the price of Bitcoin falls 5% off of his $1 million of Bitcoin, then he would have $950,000. At that point, his original $50,000 no longer covers the difference. And so the second it clicks below, what the exchange is about to do is liquidate his $50,000. And they're about to liquidate all the Bitcoin he purchased with that leverage because they need to cover their books. And so what's occurring when you see something like this, and you see them saying that $650 million in liquidations has occurred. Liquidations. What they mean is that $650 million of borrowed money had to be sold. That's what actually occurred. And these very often are what lead to the cascading price declines in cryptocurrency. It's because of leveraged traders. It is not because of the person who just went in and spent their money and bought the token. It's not them that's causing the problem. It's the gamblers that are causing the problem. It's the pigs. And remember, Bulls and bears both make money. Pigs go to the slaughterhouse. And that is what we are seeing. And that's why we saw the cascading fall. And so we saw that cascading fall in terms of prices because of over leveraged traders. And when traders get into this greed mindset, they go ahead and they start making bets that are bad bets. Whenever you're looking at 20x, 50x, 100x leverage, they offer 100x leverage on a lot of these exchanges. 100x leverage. Think about that. That means I have $1,000 and I walk in and I say, here's my $1,000. I would like you to loan me 100 grand. Yeah, could you convince a banker? I could never convince a banker. I don't think there's a bank institution, a financial institution on the planet that would allow me to borrow that money. But the reason they do it is because the system automatically liquidates them. So they come in with $1,000 and they say, I'd like $100,000 and I'd like to buy $100,000 of Bitcoin. Well, if the price of Bitcoin drops 1%, they're liquidated. And a $100,000 sale comes in on Bitcoin. Because the money in the first place wasn't real. It was credit. It was a loan. And as always, Terry, Nicola, just like you said, the house wins. These are exchanges and platforms allowing people to gamble. They're saying, hey, you show up with your money, you put your money on the table, we would love to take your money away from you. And so they're giving people the ability to take leverage positions that most people don't understand. Most people do not understand what it really means to invest in the stock market and cryptocurrency on credit. And it is something where, 1 in 1,000 financial advisors are probably smart enough to do it. And the average Joe is allowed to do it online. So I would say that if we were going to point towards one of the different indicators of why we're seeing the price drop, guys, it would come down to leverage trading. And so when we see a ton of average investors utilizing way too much leverage, we are entering into a situation where a small price shift can result in a cascading price fall. So all it took was for Bitcoin's price to drop 2% real quick, real fast. And then it started to liquidate leverage positions. And so it liquidated the person at 20, it liquidated the person at 100 leverage. And then that liquidation liquidated everybody at 75x leverage. And then that liquidation liquidated everybody at 50x leverage. And then that liquidation liquidated everybody at 25x. And it goes the whole way down until it hits a point where the market stabilizes. And so this is something that you will regularly see in terms of the market shifts with cryptocurrency. I am very opposed to leverage in investing. I don't believe in it personally, but I don't make the decisions. So now as we continue forward, though, let's look at what people are kind of seeing outside of just this current little slump. So outside of this slump, we're seeing a vast majority of different talking heads, financial analysts, the people who don't have a little comment at the beginning that say that it's just for educational and informational purposes. The people who actually, they're responsible for everything financially. They say there also seem to be the people who never know the right things to do. I know Jeremy would love to talk to everyone more and more about how his financial advisor told him not to buy Bitcoin at $200 a Bitcoin. But getting past that, so what they're saying in terms of Euro News is they're expecting a new record of $88,000 to be the all-time high of Bitcoin before it settles around 77,000 at the end of 2024. That is a prediction that actually is a bit old. So that one is over a month old. And that's why I thought it was particularly interesting because prior to our most recent upswing, so they made this prediction when the price was sitting at $43,000 per Bitcoin. Of course, we're now looking at, well, today it's up and down, but 67, nearly 68 on the day. And so in a matter of a very short amount of time, we have seen that their price prediction seems to be on the right path. But as we continue along with some of the things this article has to talk to us about, UK fintech firm Finder carried out a study based on expert price predictions of 40 crypto industry specialists on how Bitcoin is expected to perform through 2030. So Bitcoin is likely to hit an average peak price of 87,875 in 2024, with some experts predicting it will climb as high as $200,000 within the year. On the flip side, the average lowest price Bitcoin could hit, this is according to finance and industry specialists, is 35,734, with some predicting that it would fall as low as $20,000 within the year. And so, as we see when it comes to the talking heads, the folks with lots of opinions, and they say the same thing every day until eventually they're correct. They are going with a very wide range. We're seeing the low end, the extreme on the low side at 20,000. We're seeing the extreme on the high side at 200,000, a 10x difference in terms of where they're thinking we are going. So I would look at that one and just kind of take their opinions with a grain of salt. I do love to see what the different industry specialists have to say. What I would question the industry specialist and say, so where's your degree from? Did you get a crypto degree? Oh, wait, there aren't any. So what have you done in the industry for this long, where you've actually managed to learn about how cryptocurrency works? Most of the industry specialists are finance majors. They never learned a thing about cryptocurrency. They knew nothing about it. They're assuming that it operates under the same market conditions and market rules as traditional finance. And so I would always take these quote unquote experts with a grain of salt, because when it comes down to it, the only thing that's really going to help you in cryptocurrency is experience, because there is no education. There's not a school to go to. You can take blockchain essentials at MIT and they'll teach you all about the technology. You're going to have a very, very hard time finding the logic of crypto finance in a university. And so I question when they give these people the expert status, but we have to assume they know more than the average. It's big boy. Are my XLM worthless? I would hope not. The big boy XLM is an amazing project, and XLM, I believe, currently is sitting somewhere around 14, 15 cents. So no, your XLM are definitely not worthless in the slightest. It's big boy. If there's any other caveats to that question, maybe they're stuck somewhere or a mirrored asset, I'd be happy to dive in and try to help out on that one. Happy to. All right, though, let's continue jumping in. I'll be keeping an eye over here, though, for any questions, guys. So if anyone does have any, please feel free to toss them in. All right, now we're going to come over here and we're going to hit more opinions. These guys with these extensive degrees. He's probably got a Harvard degree in communications. But needless to say, and I'm making jokes, guys. Most of these people do know a whole lot, but it just always cracks me up. It's kind of like when they say that they want to hire someone right out of college with experience. Well, they wouldn't have been in college if they had experience. So it's kind of one of the whenever they say it. So I am just joking. For all I know, Braylon Hill here is the man to talk to. So what we are going to look at here is the ETFs. And so this was one where we're seeing prices go down in terms of some of these cryptocurrencies, and yet we're seeing more and more traditional finance dollars pouring in, which kind of makes you think, why are we seeing the general market take a downtrend while we're seeing the wealthy of all investors in the industry all pouring their money into it? And so, according to data from Farsight Investors, the 10 ETFs, 10 Bitcoin ETFs, attracted $2.6 billion in new investments during the 5 days ending March 15th. So, we're on the 18th now. That means $2.6 billion flooded into Bitcoin ETFs between the 10th and the 15th. We then saw during this time Bitcoin's price struggle. Most of these inflows occurred early in the week, with a surge from Monday to Wednesday driving Bitcoin to new highs, hitting nearly $74,000. And this momentum waned towards the end of the week, with only 133 million and 198 million of net inflows recorded on Thursday and Friday, respectively. Consequently, Bitcoin experienced a sharp decline over the weekend, slipping below 65,000. So now, guys, we're starting to see a bit more of a larger picture. Remember, we saw liquidations. We saw massive amounts of liquidations. So we know that if the price goes down a little bit, we're going to start to see a lot of people lose their positions and lose their butts. And so we know that was occurring. Matter of fact, March 15th is literally the day of the article, the day that the Bitcoin ETF purchases slowed down. And then we see the repercussions. And so we also can go ahead and look at this and say, well, maybe there were a lot of leveraged traders who were making bets off of the ETF purchases because $2.6 billion, the price is going to keep going up. And so they took over leveraged positions. The purchases from ETFs started to slow down, which meant that we then saw the liquidations occur on account of it. And so if we take these two things into consideration and we start to look at this from a bit of a broader picture, we're going to continually see that it is always more than one factor. It is a confluence of events that results in these price changes. But it's not really an unpredictable confluence because it always happens. Every time we see it, we're always going to end up having a pullback at some point. And so when millions and billions of dollars are flooding into the markets and are all getting dumped into Bitcoin, the day that they quit flooding in, there's going to be a whiplash. And that whiplash results in massive liquidations. And so for those that were curious, I hope that we're starting to paint the picture of why we're seeing this price change in cryptocurrency. Because it's not just one thing. And whenever you hear someone try to come out there and claim that it's one thing and that caused it, and it's all that fault, it's the U.S. government's fault, it's the SEC's fault, it's BlackRock's fault, it's one whale's fault. That's never how this works. This is way too big for that to be the entire picture. All right. What I do really enjoy here, and I thought this was a great little article coming out of CoinDesk. This is an article from today. Bitcoin ETFs hot start seems largely driven by retail investors. And so this is great news. That means that we are not looking at just the wealthiest of the wealthy coming in and supporting these Bitcoin ETFs. We're looking at the average person, the average man, the average investor, the average household are the people that are putting their dollars in to these ETFs that are trying to go ahead and move over their traditional finance to cryptocurrency. All right, though. Hey, Terry, Zester, I have moved a portion of my XRP to a Nano X. It was painful to do. The balance that I have is in Uphold. Am I at risk, and do I need to get it all on the Nano? Terry, I would not be sitting there worrying about it on a few-day basis. Terry, I'm glad that you have gotten some of your XRP moved over to a hardware wallet. That's a great thing. A hardware wallet will always be safer, Terry. You will always be safer on a hardware wallet because you are the person who is responsible. And I know I try to trust everyone, but when it comes down to it, I trust myself the most. And so I always feel like you're better off with everything on the Nano, but Uphold is an independent wallet. And so I would not be worried about you needing to go over there and run around and freak out, Terry, and get it moved immediately. But I would move it to my Nano if I were you. I would absolutely get the crypto off of Uphold in the long run. I would get it off of all exchanges in the long run. And it's not because there's anything wrong with Uphold. There's nothing wrong with Uphold. It's just an extra point of failure. And so if we think about it from that perspective, it's not that I'm saying Uphold is doing anything risky with your money or with your access. They're not. To my knowledge, they're not. But they are a point of failure. You have an account and a wallet with Uphold, an account and a wallet that you're responsible for keeping the information for. If somebody inappropriately got access to that, they would be able to take the crypto out of your Uphold account. Now, Uphold also has access to some degrees of your information and everything else, which means if someone took it from Uphold, well, same result. You end up with nothing. And so to me, it's not really a matter of whether these companies are risky or not. It's a matter of me going ahead and taking as much control over my finances as I can. Now, I'm not taking that risk of Uphold failing. I'm not taking that risk of Coinbase failing, of Lobster failing, of KuCoin failing, of Bitmart, or any of these other ones. I'm no longer risking my money on their failures. I'm risking it on mine. And that's really where the debate comes into play, Terry, is would you rather be sitting there blaming yourself or would you rather be sitting there blaming a company? I personally would rather be sitting there blaming myself. I feel more comfortable that way. Not my keys, not my crypto. So I wouldn't be stressed, Terry. I wouldn't be stressed because it really isn't a big worry. But I would suggest that in the long run, you go ahead and get it off Uphold and get it onto your Nano. Oh, Sunrise and Joe Healy. What is up, guys? What is up? All right. Yeah, Terry Nicola says, last month I swapped Sol and Shino for XRP and they both had good increases. Laugh out loud. But I will still pick up some XLM. I got to learn somehow, right? Terry, don't ever let 2020 hindsight get you down. If we allowed that, we'd live in the past. And, I like to learn from history, but I don't want to go back and live in it. And so I would not kick yourself too hard on that one, Terry. I'm certain that even with that switch, you're still doing all right. Solana did have a massive, massive run, as did Shiba. And it does. It hurts when you see the token that you know is the right one. And then you see the token about a meme about a dog and it's up 200% in the day. And you're sitting there and you're going, I bought pickaxes and shovels and Levi jeans. And this guy went out and bought fool's gold and he made all the money. It's like the irony of the gold rush is that all the people in the gold rush that were out there mining gold, none of them made any money. The people that made money on the gold rush, they were selling Levi jeans, pickaxes, food, hot meals, and beer. Those are the people that made a fortune off of it. And very often I feel like I'm the one sitting there with a token that has actual value, and then I'm watching Shiba Inu head to the moon as they sell people pyrite. But it is what it is. Kathleen Miller, I'm in California. What days and hours in Pacific Standard Time should I be looking for to join you? I thought I'd give an address when I watched you on Mark C. Blogs and Arika. Okay, Kathleen. So I come live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so that would be 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All of my videos are recorded and are posted right after. And Kathleen, I'm planning on the majority of our lessons turning into recorded videos. And so if you just go ahead and you actually throw a follow, a subscribe on the channel, Kathleen, you're not going to have a hard time being able to keep up with everything that we're throwing out there. All right, Joe Healy. I know this one. I was a dummy butt and left crypto on Trust Wallet once. $3,500 investment, watched it go to 47K and boom, hacked. Yeah, that's how I feel like far too many people end up learning, Healy. And so I sit there and I try to, I don't want to scare people when it comes down to it. I don't want you to be scared about where your crypto is sitting because crypto is safe. It's just that crypto is new. And so that means there's a lot of opportunities for people who do understand the system really well to try to take advantage of people who don't. And so I always, guys, I know that I'm a broken record, and Ledger should be buying me meals and such for how often I say it, but I strongly recommend the second you have enough crypto that losing it would upset you, buy a hardware wallet. It doesn't need to be Ledger. I don't. It doesn't matter which one. It really doesn't. It just get one. Get one. Personally, I'd suggest Ledger, but it could be anything because Joe, I didn't have my situation occur exactly the same, but I sat there and watched people have this happen over and over again. I have gone through and tried to help so many people recover their crypto, and it's upsetting to watch because sometimes you look at it and you go, "There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. The money's gone." And sometimes you can do something, but in a situation like this, yeah, the money's just gone and it hurts. But it was less than a college education, so it was less than your university bill. And I bet you learned a whole heck of a lot, Joe. And the thing is about crypto that if you can do it once, if you can take $3,500 and turn it into 47K and then have that money stolen, well, you could do it again. You could do it again. And next time you could not have it stolen because we do learn along the way. Kurt Hoon, what should a beginner move Uphold to? And so if you are on Uphold, my recommendation would be to, well, Uphold is a part of a company I really enjoy because they are the official wallet of Brave browser and the basic attention token. So if you are maintaining your computer health, your malware protection, your everything else, you're not connecting your wallet to anything dangerous. You know, you use your computer in a very, very conservative and protected way. I really wouldn't worry that much about being on Uphold. If you were ready to go ahead and make certain that your money is safe, yep. RD1414, can you track down a Bitcoin crypto wallet? Just got an email from someone who claims to have hacked my computer. He's trying to extort me to pay a $1,500 Bitcoin ransom. RD, first of all, I would go ahead and tell you that it's just a scam. He most likely has not hacked anything. What I would say is if you are worried that he has hacked your computer, if you do have anything on there that you don't want someone to have access to, I would suggest on a separate device. So if it was on your computer, like, if you got your banking on your computer and then you have your banking on your phone and someone sends you an email and says that they hacked your computer and they have access to your bank account, go to your phone bank account and change the password. Because then essentially you can go ahead and double check for yourself without risking anything. RD1414, I would honestly say that's just a scammer and they're lying, but I would not leave you with solely that advice, just because there's always the chance that they're serious. I beyond doubt it. If I were a gambling man, I'd bet my money that they're just trying to scam you. 99.99999% of the time, if you receive an email about cryptocurrency, it is a scam. Oh wow, you really are a spitting image of your pops. Yeah. I don't think I can get away with trying to convince anyone that we're not related. It's never worked out for me. I have even had people in our hometown that I had never met walk up to me and say, "Are you Mark Z's son? You've got to be." And they had never met me, but just having had met him, they're like, "There's no way." That or they thought they had found, his illegitimate child or something of that nature, which, of course, is a joke. But there were a few times in town that people would stare at me and go, "You've got to be Mark Z's son. Do you know Mark Z?" And it always worked out. Booger, wait, what time again in California? That would be 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am on Eastern Standard Time at the moment. In Puerto Rico, we're technically on Atlantic Standard Time, which means our time never changes. So our time is the same year round. So it would be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for California. And if someone could ever explain to me how Rocky Mountain time works, I would love to hear that someday, because I have talked to regularly. I have talked to people in Rocky Mountain time that have been on different times. So I'm certain, though, for Pacific Standard Time that I've got the math right. Beach Brat 777. So grateful for you, Zester. I am a licensed financial professional. I don't know crypto. It's totally normal, Beach Brat. It is. It's something where it's all new. There's no way to be experienced. You know, when it comes down to it, the only way to become an experienced person in cryptocurrency is to sit down in groups like this, and sit down with articles like all of these, and just keep going, and just keep going. And when you have a question, you find the person with the answer. When I have a technical question, I go and I look for the developer. When I have the financial, the monetary movement type questions, I go and I try to find the economist. I try to find the financial guy who has the most experience with crypto. And that's just what you have to do. That's how you learn this one. This is an opportunity for people who weren't necessarily, the person that wanted to. They weren't somebody that always loved sitting in class and reading through the books and doing their homework. Cryptocurrency has attracted a lot of the people who are truly learn best off of things they're interested in. And so I feel like that's really what separated the average from the extreme in crypto, is usually just how much are you willing to dive in? How much are you willing to learn? Are you willing to put money on the line in a smart way? Because you're going to have to spend money to learn crypto. If you're not willing to spend money, you're going to need to really take advantage of the learning opportunities and the ways for you to acquire some crypto to play with. Or you're going to want to get pretty technically savvy, and you're going to want to utilize a testnet. Oh, Joe, yeah, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was $1.50 when I was introduced to it. Ouch. Joe, we all have, unfortunately, we have that one too often. And I've heard that one far too many times. Joe, I bought Bitcoin back in 2012 for a video game. It was pennies. It was pennies. So, Joe, yeah, I think I bought thousands. I traded them for something in a video game. It wasn't even a thought at the time. I was fresh kid out of college. I was really like, oh man, this stuff is cool. This is so cool. Yeah, I'm going to use it. I'm going to buy some of it. I'm going to use some of it. I forget whatever it is that I technically bought in a video game. It was pennies. I spent like $1, $2. Like, it was nothing. And needless to say, I imagine that wallet was. I imagine that's the best investment of my life, and I don't have any access to any of it. And I've heard far too many stories that are similar. Jeremy was trying to convince his financial advisor. He had $100,000 that he wanted to buy a Bitcoin, and his financial advisor told him he would be the dumbest thing in the world to do it. Told him he'd be a fool. He just wasted $100,000. And he convinced him not to. Bitcoin was under $200 at the time. He'd be worth over $35 million today. So we all have those. We all have it. David Zester, did you drop a video on YouTube this last weekend? So actually, David, the video did not drop over the weekend because I ended up filming 3 separate videos and doing all the audio, and they're now going through editing in order to be released. And so we are going to have a deluge of lessons and tutorials and reviews coming out this week. And I don't know, each time one's done, I'm just going to go ahead, set a premiere, and release it. So when I do that, I will, of course, be jumping in to make announcements over and over and over again. But those videos will be dropping throughout the week. I'm trying to really take a lot of the lessons, because I have to utilize so much personal information in a lot of these different programs. I really need to be able to pre-record the video and then release them. So I'm trying to take a lot of the lessons, like things like Uphold and things like Coinbase, and actually handle those in recorded videos where I can really get straight to the point. That way we can do all of our Q&A, and we can do all of our hanging out, and we can do our IT support during the live streams. We can do our learning inside of the shorter, more pre-recorded videos. Right. Zester, does VPN prevent banking hacking? So Terry Nicola, what a virtual private network is doing is it's actually taking, and that's what a VPN is. It's a virtual private network. It's taking your IP address. Your IP address is your internet address. And so if you are sitting at your house, wherever you're at, and you have internet service, your router, that thing that Time Warner Cable or whoever your company is that put in, it has a address. It has an IP address. And so when you connect to the internet knows where you live. It knows your address because you're the only person with that IP address. So all a VPN is doing is it's taking that IP address and it's spoofing it off to somewhere else. So a virtual private network would allow me to have my IP address be from anywhere. And so essentially, in a roundabout way, Terry, a VPN would help keep people from being able to target where you live. That would make it more difficult for them to get, your address, your mailing information, things they would need to hack your bank account. But it is not actually protecting anything. All it's truly doing is saying that you live somewhere else. It's giving you the ability to essentially claim that you live anywhere besides where you live. And so I would be hesitant with saying that it's going to prevent banking hacking. It would potentially make it harder. That would be where I would leave it at. It would make it more difficult. All right. Yeah, Booger, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was 10 cents. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hindsight 2020. All right. Oh, Joe Healy, are you going to film Pops with his new tank chair going surf fishing? Absolutely, Joe. As a matter of fact, I have been over here working with a GoPro, planning for that event. And I also have what I believe should be the name of the tank. I proposed the name to him a few days ago, and we'll see what everybody ends up deciding on that one. But I do have a name for it that I think that should at least be in the running. But we're definitely going to be filming it. VPN is kind of like a kid saying he or she is at a certain friend's house. I mean, essentially. But the really cool things that a VPN actually allow you to do that I think are more important, really, in terms of why they're worth spending money on. They allow you to go out and watch Netflix in other countries. They allow you to access the internet in a country that might have very, very different beliefs and views, that might have very different stories. It allows you to have true access to freedom of information. And so a VPN to me is really just a tool for information. I don't really view it as a security tool. I view it as an opportunity for me to gain access to areas, knowledge, data, opinions that I would not be able to get if I did not have a VPN. So I always have a VPN on my computer. I always have one on my phone. And it's not because of security. It's because I want the ability to be able to find the truth. Booger, won't be worth them to hack you. Don't worry so much. There have been a few times where I've looked at that as well on a device, Booger, where I know I had something. It was like a phone, and somebody sent me like a very scary message. Oh, I've hacked your phone. I'm gonna take all your crypto. And I went over and I looked at my wallet, and I'm like, you're gonna take my $13? Like, I mean, I really don't want you to. I'd like to keep my $13, but I'm not, but so threatened. All right. The name of the chair should be Wet Willie. Ah, there we go. There we go. That'd be a funny one. That would be a funny one. Oh, see you, Kukla. Thank you so much for joining this evening and helping out. Kukla, you were running as the only moderator today, so I greatly appreciate you coming in here. Although, honestly, I think we're pretty lucky. We seem to be a very well-behaved community, so I think that the moderators get it pretty easy over here. But Kukla, thank you so much. Jeremy is actually out coaching baseball at the moment, so he was not able to help on that. I've always thought Wall-E from the movie. Oh, yeah, that is. It does have the little tank treads. That's a pretty good one. All right, so we got Wet Willie, Wall-E. We'll have to see. I'm just going to throw some of these suggestions at him. I'll have to throw some of them at him. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and go through a few more of these articles, and then we are going to probably start wrapping it up after we do. But all of these articles, guys, will be inside of the Discord. So, of course, here we have, is Bitcoin ready for a new all-time high now that the excessive leverage is gone? This story really kind of comes back here and connects back to the liquidity crunch. And so, as you can see, this one, 31 minutes ago, Marcel Peckman, and kind of looking at the fact that that liquidations have ceased, which means the vast majority of folks that were over leveraged have gotten their teeth kicked in and are no longer doing that anymore. So Leah Taylor, actually right here, as we go back through these, we went through this one a bit earlier in. We are looking at the fact that we saw massive amounts of liquidations, and we also saw ETF interest into Bitcoin see a massive, massive reduction right before we saw the liquidations. So we had tons and tons and tons of people all rushing in, buying tons and tons of Bitcoin with their retirement money and their ETFs. They're buying tons and tons of Bitcoin. And then on the 15th of March, we see it stop. Somehow, $2.6 billion flowed in to Bitcoin ETFs in 5 days. And then on the 15th, it stopped. And what that resulted in was a bunch of people who had gambled. All of them gambled. And so we saw all this money. We saw the ETF inflow slow. Then we saw it all stop on the 15th. And we saw $650 million in liquidations occur in a cascading effect. And so, Lee, I would say that honestly on this one, I am not really all that surprised. This one adds up. Does it hurt? Of course. But what we saw was very, very logical. Tons of money flowing into the market, and then all of a sudden the money stops. The second the money stops, everybody who was gambling on the money continuing to show up, well, their bets are about to come due. And that's what we saw happen. $650 million in liquidations occurred the second that the ETF money inflow slowed down. And I would expect this to be a regular occurrence over the coming months. I would expect this to be a regular occurrence. We did talk about this one earlier, and so all of these articles will be down there, guys. But the lure of quick money sees $100 million flow into Solana meme coin pre-sales. Right now, this is all the craze. We have seen the Book of Meme. We've seen Slurf, and who knows what other dumb names people are going to come up for these projects. These are gambling. These are opportunities to gamble your money and potentially make far more, or potentially get robbed. People have a lot of fun doing it. I've had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. I shouldn't even say people have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun playing around with these type of markets, but keep in mind that it's not real. It's all make-believe. You're playing musical chairs. The last person to try to get a seat is going to end up broke. The first person to make a profit and sell is going to walk away feeling like they conquered the world. And so, yeah, essentially right there, Sunrise. Don't buy the top. It's sinking sand. Yeah, meme coin Slurf is making millionaires despite pre-sale mishap. And so, guys, this is the project where the developer burnt $10.4 million of other people's money before the token even launched. And despite that, it still managed to go nuts. So one whale invested 1.98 million in the token and made 3 million in profits within 12 minutes of trading. Keep in mind, guys, these are all pie in the sky type stories. They happen every day. Millionaires are made every day. It's kind of like the same reason that people believe in the American dream. People believe in the American dream because every day an American achieves it. That's what really is the reason that we believe in it. We believe in it because despite everything else, there's still some guy who achieves it every day. And that's the same thing with cryptocurrency. When it comes down to it, somebody makes the right move and becomes infinitely wealthier than they were the day before. Maybe based off of their own decision making, maybe based off of luck. Who's to say? But it is not it's not something that is reproducible, guys. It's not simply reproducible. It takes time. So looking at the book of meme, this is the one that we had looked at earlier, guys. That was the project that came out, skyrocketed to a $653 million market cap. And now we're going to kind of leave this one alone, and we're going to go back over to a little bit of international news. IMF requires Pakistan to impose crypto tax for $3 billion bailout. And so this is something that we're seeing occurring now, not just in Pakistan. It's also what we're seeing occurring in, where's my other article? There we go. And also something that we are seeing in, well, of course, I managed to get them all out of order. My apologies, fellows. We are also seeing it occurring inside of Nigeria. And so I seem to have lost that article. My apologies, guys, for flipping the screen back and forth there real quick. But it's also occurring in Nigeria. So Nigeria is currently actually holding multiple different Binance executives claiming that it is Binance's fault that they're seeing massive inflation. We're seeing here where the International Monetary Fund is claiming Pakistan needs to start cracking down on crypto taxes. We're seeing here where Indonesia is looking to do the same, as they've seen a skyrocketing to $1.92 billion in crypto transactions in the month of February. And so, guys, what we're seeing here on this one is we're seeing people in countries that are seeing inflation hit a certain point flee to crypto. And we're going to see the same thing occur. And as we know, the vast majority of us that are keeping up with the United States and our current inflationary issues, it's something that we need to keep in the back of our own mind also. You know, right now it's Nigeria. Right now it's Indonesia. Right now it's Pakistan. And what's going to happen when it starts to be major nations that are seeing inflation at such a high rate that the vast majority of the citizens flee to cryptocurrency? Because we've already seen it. It's what happens nowadays. If a country is flailing enough on inflation, you're going to see crypto take over, because that's what it was built to solve. Crypto was built to be the solution to inflation. That Satoshi Nakamoto's very goal. And so I'm very curious about this trend as we see more and more countries start to make that move over there. And Joe Healy, that's also kind of why I brought it up. It would be nice for Indonesia to revalue. Just something maybe you guys should go over and actually bring that one up a little bit with Pops, because these are the type of stories that I think are the ones that would make a lot of sense to bring up. Indonesia, as they see more and more pressure, is going to be feeling more of the heat to get problems solved on their side. So, all right, continuing forward, guys. We're seeing this one was our one on Ethereum ETFs. Standard Chartered predicts a $45 billion inflow to Ethereum ETFs within 1 year. I've seen expectations and numbers thrown out there anywhere from 20 billion to 400 billion being the predicted inflow to Ethereum ETFs. Needless to say, the only thing you need to do when you're looking at that one is come right on over here and say, all right, Ethereum has a $424 billion market cap. And so that means that we would be looking at, just on account of this influx, we would be looking at about, so 45, 40, we would be looking at over a 10% increase to the market liquidity of Ethereum based off of their prediction for the year. Those are the easier ways to look at it, is to kind of look at these dollars, look at the market caps, and take that into consideration. What I would say, though, is that is the, I would say, the fairly conservative way of viewing it. It's also the simplistic way of looking at it. The more egg-headed financial advisor is going to be breaking down a lot more than just saying raw dollars in, raw dollars out. But it gives us a very easy way of looking at it. And if we saw $45 billion flow in to Ethereum ETFs, then we're also going to see a massive amount of dollars flow in from other financial vehicles or just spot trades as well. All right. If you lose, also jumped off a bridge for Iranian Real. Hey, if you lose, you lose. Now that's a story I'd like to hear. That's a story I'd like to hear. Tell Pops to check out the Hill HX50 helicopter. It's sweet, $750K base price. All right, guys. We're gonna need to go ahead and get that. We're gonna need to get some things moving. Joe Healy, over 4 years of purchasing foreign currency. Hey, you have probably got quite the collection together then, Joe. Quite the collection at this point. And so to go ahead and wrap things up today, we would just have this last one that I thought was fun. So we have pressure mounting on Biden to assist in the release of the detained Binance executives. Nigeria is claiming that these executives intentionally drove their central bank currency, their fiat, their paper money. They're claiming that Binance intentionally drove it into the ground. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's false. And they are criminally holding U.S. citizens hostage, trying to extort Binance into giving them money. And this is because the Nigerian government overprinted, overspent, and don't know what the heck they're doing in even the slightest fashion when it comes to their domestic monetary policy. And so they would rather blame it on Binance and cryptocurrency than take the blame themselves. But finally, people are starting to say, hey, Biden, you were willing to do a whole lot to get Brittany Griner out of Russia. You were willing to do a whole lot. We gave up a war criminal. We gave up literally, what was the guy's name? He was the merchant of death. We gave up the merchant of death for a basketball player. And now we have actual U.S. citizens being held hostage in Nigeria, and Biden doesn't give a crap. Which I guess all of this adds up, but it's still pretty ridiculous that we have a former U.S. federal agent. Former U.S. federal agent is being held hostage in Nigeria right now. The Biden administration has got nothing to say about it. Nothing to say about it. And I know from knowing a bit more about it that he is not only a former U.S. federal agent, he is also a former U.S. federal IRS agent. So the tax man is currently being held hostage in Nigeria, and Biden doesn't seem all that interested in doing anything to get him out. So jumping from that, from donations to decisions, how crypto PACs target Senate races. And so this is something for everyone to keep in mind, that cryptocurrency is not just in a vacuum. Our money is good. Our money spends. And our money is being spent to influence elections in a massive degree. Keep in mind that Sam Friedman Bankman, FTX CEO, a scam artist, a thief who stole massive amounts of money, in 2020 was the second largest Democratic political candidate donator on the planet. And so cryptocurrency companies are influencing elections. Sam Bankman-Fried spent millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on Democratic candidates. I believe he did it in 2016 and 2020. And he happened to also be stealing all that money that he was doing it with, but really doesn't matter. The money was flowing into political campaigns. And so we need to keep in mind that these things are occurring. Crypto money is being spent to influence campaigns, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. With each election, with the continued growth of cryptocurrency, we're going to see more and more crypto packs out there. And now sometimes what they're looking for is pretty simple. They're looking for candidates that, if anything, are just at least not crypto haters. They're looking for libertarians. They're usually looking for these type of things. Some of these different larger crypto companies have gone out there and looked to spend their money in ways that I think the vast majority of cryptocurrency holders would disagree. In the case of FTX, but still, thought this was important for everyone to keep in mind and for everyone to be able to read. And so with all of this actually pulled together, guys, I'm going to be taking all of these links from today's stream, and they are going to be coming over here and going into the Discord. So guys, for those that are looking for the links each day, they come right down here in today's links. And so you'll see right now what I've been doing is just going ahead and actually posting a little message. Links for this date start here. And so you will also be getting that one for today's links. So for anybody that is interested in checking those things out, I'd be happy to see you over there in Discord. We are working on a website so that people will be able to go check out the links on a website soon as well. But beyond that, guys, I need to go ahead and keep on running with the evening. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that everyone enjoyed the news bin today because I'm really focused on getting out these pre-recorded lessons and tutorials. And so today I felt like the news would be a lot of fun. On Wednesday, guys, remember, it's going to be DGen Wednesday. We're going to go buy crap tokens on Wednesday. We're going to go buy things that we probably shouldn't buy, and we're going to see what happens. But it's going to be fun. We're going to keep learning. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe, share the video. Beyond that, I cannot wait to see y'all again on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, although there will be a video releasing before then. So y'all will hear from me before 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, but I will get to hear what everybody thought of the video at that point. So thank you guys so much. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful one, and we'll talk soon.